What's going on, guys? I'm back here with the last two games. Yeah, kind of a dead giveaway there, so whatever. Last two games of this series between Bobi and Tila from the Russian Championship semifinals, so winner will make it to the finals. Bobi is currently up 2-1. So, yeah, Tila, I don't know. I know a bit more about this matchup because we were playing it a little bit, but I don't remember exactly if Tila was picking first or it was Bobi. I think it was Bobi. No, it must be Tila, I think, because he said Bobi would pick first in the next game. So I think it's Tila picking first here. And we got an interesting matchup. I practiced a little bit with Tila, so I have some insight on it, more than the other games for sure. So let's check it out. Alright, and so here we go. The matchup is Armenia for Tila and Arverni for Borislav here. It's an interesting matchup. I think Armenia definitely seems to have the edge from the games that me and Tila played, just because Arverni doesn't have the cav force to really deal with it, and Armenia, sorry, can still bring all the slingers. They can still bring the archers. They have a lot of cav, 3 cataphracts, so very powerful. And they also have just a lot of infantry, and if they can tie down most of these infantry, the cataphracts can just come around, kill off the cav, and then just rear charge all the infantry. The key, though, is to shoot up or kill off some of these cheaper spears, maybe not the chosen spears, but the spear warriors and the levy free, before you go into your main engagement. Because let's say you kill 2 of these cheap spears, then there's going to be a lot less infantry on the field, and your infantry, the melee infantry for Arverni, will be much worse protected. Those spears, obviously holding off any frontal charges into these Celtic warriors, for example. So let's go over Bobi's army here. He's got 2 heavy horse, a noble horse, and 2 light horse, as it says cav horse. I do think you need to bring these light horse. It's kind of unfortunate, but Arverni doesn't have enough unit types to bring anything else, so you do need to do this. You could go for 2 noble horse as well, but then you basically don't bring an Oathsworn, and the Oathsworn's helpful to kill off those infantry units and cause some chaos there. So his infantry force is 2 chosen swords, 2 Celtic warriors, 1 Oathsworn, 1 spear noble here, very useful in this matchup when you don't have so much cav. And then 2 chosen spears, 2 spear warriors, and 1 levy free. He's also got 2 Celtic slingers and a Celtic skirmisher back here. Let's slow-mo here. Tila's army, very standard stuff as well. He's got 3 cataphracts, 1 royal cataphract, 2 eastern cataphracts, 2 noble blood cav, I believe, and 1 Cappadocian. Very standard stuff. He's got 2 Cartly axemen here. He's got 2 regular axemen out here on the flanks. He's got 2 hillmen, so maxing out his infantry corps, and he also has 2 Persian hoplites and an eastern spear. So that's what I'm saying. Basically, Tila has 9 infantry units, 6 melee infantry, 2 Persian hoplites, and an eastern spearman, and Bobi basically has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? So if you can kill 2 of these spears early on, suddenly you can tie down every single Arverni infantry unit. Now, yes, you're going to lose a lot of those fights, but the key is that then your cataphracts and your noble bloods and your Cappadocians are unopposed as they run in here, kill off the cavalry, they have no support, and then rear charge the infantry. And it's game over, basically. Tila also does have 2 eastern archers and 2 eastern slingers here, so they're going to be very effective at just killing anything. Like, for example, if Bobi rushes now, the melee infantry can go down, the melee infantry fight, and then these archers can just pick and choose their targets. They can snipe down the general, the cav, the Oathsworn, whatever they want, basically. And Tila was doing this against me when we were practicing too. He goes straight to shooting these spear warriors, and you can kill off 2 of these spear warriors with your archers and slingers before anything really happens. Like, these Celtic slingers can't do enough damage to the eastern slingers. They just take too long to actually kill anything. So you can kill off 2 spear warriors, and then you're in very, very good shape, because the eastern spear ties down this levy free, and then, you know, you have enough melee infantry to tie down all the other infantry units. But we might want to get aggressive here and start engaging, because the longer he waits, he's just going to waste these spear warriors, and he won't really kill many. Like you can see, these spear warriors down to 111, these guys down to 98, and these slingers have lost 1 man to these Celtic slingers, so it's not a big problem whatsoever. So let's go back into regular speed. Tila just falling back here. No problem there, just going to recycle, get some extra shots. He is taking some rear shots, but again, only 4 losses, it's fine. And these spear warriors down to under 100 already. They get a javelin volley here would be nice, though. They are. So that's good. It's not a javelin volley used on infantry though. They will kill another 10 of these Eastern Slingers, so very nice. The Cataphracts can go for the shot. This is risky though. No, he's going to eat a Javelin Volley there. Only loses 4 men, so it's not terrible. And this Javelin Volley won't do anything. Ooh, actually it was pretty nice. But it only kills 1 more guy, so unnecessary losses on those Cataphracts. But to be fair, it does mean that these Chosen Spearmen have lost a entire Javelin Volley, so they won't be able to use it maybe at a more crucial moment, because only losing 5 Cataphracts is not terrible. And now again, this Spear Warrior down to 80 men, and this one at 80 as well. So 2 Spear Warriors going down, but Bobi at least making it a little more costly. He's killing a few Cataphracts, he's killing some Slingers. That's good kills, and the HP on the Slingers is going to be really low, especially if he keeps taking these rear shots. So these Celtic Slingers will start to do damage to these Eastern Slingers. But they're at 74 men, so it's not a huge problem as of yet. But you do want to keep them alive, because you have a lot of ammo, even after killing off these Spear Warriors. They're wavering, but they shouldn't rout at 70 men, you wouldn't think. They're eating shit though, from the Celtics for sure. Nice damage there. But yeah, they're gonna start killing off these Spear Warriors. The archers especially are gonna do the damage. Tila moves his general over here very smartly to keep the morale up, and they will stop wavering. They shouldn't rout there anyway. And these Spear Warriors down to 50 men. You might want to just not shoot them anymore, like, they're so useless at 50 men. But you can kill them off entirely, it just will take a lot of ammo that isn't really well spent because you're not killing very much. These Slingers 57, these Slingers 65, so they are definitely taking a toll on these. But basically, these Celtic Slingers can't even kill off the entire Eastern Slinger unit with all their ammo. It's very, like, they'll barely kill it and they will have no ammo left, so whatever. And these archers are going to finish off these. This will probably rout now. Yeah. So, 1 down, and this one's going down, so I think this is a perfect start for Tila. Again, he's losing a lot of Slingers, but that's the price you pay to kill off 2 entire Spear units, and those Spear units are very deadly, so it's good kills, I would say. It's totally fine. And once he kills this unit off, I mean, it's basically dead, he can just begin the engagement, because he'll have, again, equal number of infantry. He can tie down 1 for 1 every unit, go for those YOLO charges, and then surround with your Cappadocians and Noble Blood Cav. Let those Cataphracts get in there late, and yeah, so that's the final shot there. They didn't lose that many men, so they won't actually rout. But it's stupid that 13 men are surviving here. He's going to take another volley, so he's again wasting a lot of ammo, which is good, because now that ammo can't be used to necessarily snipe the Oathsworn, and you're just relying on your cavalry to do it instead, which is totally fine. Like, the cavalry can absolutely do that. And you can see Tila flanking around here with like Axeman and a Hillman. This is a good place to engage right now. I would say you can kill off another spear basically for free here. Just charge in the Cartley, and you can just or the Cataphract, but you don't want to. Like, they just take a free volley there. They only lose 5 men, but again, that's now 2 Cataphracts that are down 5 men, and their HP is lower. Now he only charged in with a Persian Hoplite. He could have. What I would have done, right, is just charge in the Persian Hoplite, use up the Javelin Volley, and then just recharge it with the Cataphract. Like, there's not enough support here to stop that. The Eastern Spearman can go tie down this Oath, just so it doesn't throw Javelins at your Cataphract. But, like, this fight is terrible. These Chosen Spears are going to kill both of these units, and you won't have done very much. Tila fakes a charge here into the Oathsworn, but it wasn't very good. And now these Cataphracts have already lost 15 men. And I think he's just playing a little, like, a little careless, or too careful. So careful that it's careless, you know? Because he's just sitting there and wasting his Cataphracts instead of just charging in and slaughtering enemy units. Like, this Axeman should finish off this unit. If he doesn't finish off this unit, nothing will, and the Spearman will still be alive. Over here, not a good engagement for the Cartley against the Chosen Sword. They're going to do very badly. He could have had a Cataphract charge there instead. But they will block these Levy Free from getting a charge, which is nice. Cataphract's getting in behind onto the Celtics, very nice. But they need to kill off this Oathsworn. He needs to come behind and shoot up and kill all of these units. Like, he just needs to kill all of these units right now with his Cataphracts. And then these mercenary Cappadocians and these Noblewood can just finish the job. But look at this, now the Axemen are going down to the Oathsworn. They don't really care about this. The Celtic Skirmishers even getting on the action here with 13 kills, mostly against Cataphracts, so these are very valuable kills. The Chosen Swords are actually losing this fight, so good for them. Now he gets in here, a very important charge against these Noble Horse. Cartley Axemen will even get in on the Oathsworn, and they'll do well in this fight because the Cartleys didn't get a charge. But the problem is he doesn't have any infantry support in this region. He had a Hillman, but it routed, and now his Cataphracts are just going to go down to all of his infantry support, so that's definitely not good. The Light Horse, Bobi's doing a nice job harassing with his Light Horse instead of using them in the melee. They're completely worthless in most melee fights, unless they don't get charged. If they don't get charged, they can do well, but they're much better at chasing down archers and shit like that. So now the Noble Horse will slowly go down, but the Cataphracts don't really have anywhere to go, and now there's infantry in their rear, so that's very bad. The Chosen Spear, again, just holding out. He went into shield screen, but that is actually not helping at all. He would be winning this fight better if he wasn't in shield screen. The Spirit Noble doesn't even need to help fight against Cav because the Cav is all blobbed up in one fight. This is really, really bad for Tila, and suddenly his cavalry advantage is much less than it ought to be, perhaps. He's just running away now with his Cataphracts. He'll get out, but he'll lose a lot of men doing it. These mercenary Cappadocians have no chance against this heavy horse. I mean, he doesn't even get a charge. Like, I think Tila's just, like, kind of joking a little bit. Like, he's not getting the best engagement. Another terrible javelin volley here by this Chosen Spearman. This is basically exactly what Bobi wants to do. He just wants to get javelin volleys with all his spears, and then have infantry support where the cav fights are. Right now, the problem for Tila is he tried to do this, like, massive flank with, like, a lot of infantry, but then when the Hillman died, it was just like, and the Oathsworn got into this fight and took down a Cartley and a regular Axeman, it was just like, oh, now I have one infantry, the Hillman, to get to support my 3 cav, and Bobi supported all of his fights well with Levy Free and Celtics, and so these Cataphracts just got tied down in the center there, rather than being able to freely charge in any direction. And that's what I think you need to do as Armenia. You just need to come frontally with your Cataphracts, bait out the Javelins with your front line of infantry, charge the melee infantry once with your Cataphracts, and then flank around, because then the infantry will be tied down by your infantry, and you'll have a lot of supporting units. Like, that Axeman died to this Oathsworn instantly, because the Oathsworn didn't take a charge, and that was not good, because then the Oathsworn tied down a second unit. You want to tie down every unit 1 for 1 as Armenia, because then it'll allow you to have free Cataphracts, free Noble Blood, and all that. He wasn't able to do that, though. He waited too long on this big flank. It allowed the Oathsworn to kill off several units. That Chosen Spearman was tying down 2 units instead of just 1. And crucially, that basically caused him to not have enough support for his cav, but we had the support to help his noble horse out. That noble horse was fighting against like 2 noble bloods and 2 cataphracts, but it had infantry support, so it survived. And it survived long enough to deal enough damage to just to clutch it out, basically hold on, kill enough cataphracts in the melee, surround those cataphracts, make it difficult for them to escape, and that was the key. So yep, these Cataphracts don't really have much of a chance. Again, he still has this problem with like very tired units, and I think some of that's because he's doing these huge flanks. I think you should wait for this Axeman to come at least. This Axeman could do very well in some of these fights if the Cataphracts can support. But yeah, I don't think there's enough Cataphracts left on the field here. Eating more javelins from the Oaths, who are, you know, just racking up the kills here. 162 kills against melee infantry, very nice. The Cataphract will get out. These Snow Bloods will get out, but I don't think it's enough here. These Chosen Spears, again, racking it up, 161 kills. And yeah, they'll do very nicely. Getting a rear charge here with his Light Horse. And Bobi's used his Light Horse to very good effect. They killed off a lot of archers over here. We can see here, I think they also killed off some archers. So that's the perfect use for those kind of units. And now it's just too much cav left on the field. They can just chase down these Cataphracts whenever they feel like it. And yeah, there's probably javelins on the field too for some of these units. Oh, big javelin volley there from the Spirit Noble. Wins the game by itself, and that's it. So 3-1 for Bobi, and a very nice victory with Arverni. It's tough to win with Arverni. I just think Tila was way too scared here. Like, he was non-committal in a lot of places where it just cost him a lot, because he would like run his Cataphracts up to do a charge, not charge, and then run away and get javelin instead of just going for the charges. Those charges will be devastating, and I think that was the big mistake, because he just didn't commit with his Cataphracts. He tried to go for these big flanks when he didn't really need to go a full flank. You just need to engage all the units and make sure you get YOLO charges with your Cataphracts to slow down the effect of units like these Oathsworn and the Chosen Swords. He didn't do that, so his Cartley and his regular Axeman just got absolutely toasted. He was engaging kind of poorly in a lot of places where he'd like double up against the Chosen Spears with 2 units that can't beat the Chosen Spear. So like the Chosen Spear just killed the Eastern Spearman and the Persian Hoplite together. So that's 2-1, which means he had a free unit elsewhere, and those free units were his reserve Levy Free and his Celtics, who were helping that cav blob in the back where the Noble Horse was, and that allowed the Noble Horse to do very well. Light Horse getting nice kills, Spear Noble and Oathsworn very nice kills as well. Heavy Horse really good. Like, Heavy Horse should not be getting kills in this matchup. Like, they are just worse than every other cav unit on the field. And yeah, so well played from Bobi. He wins this one as well. Nice skills on that Chosen Spear as well. So he gets the 3-1 lead, and now we have the 5th game. Not exactly sure what this is going to be. I think it should be Saba versus Boyai, but it might not be. Ah, Rome versus Boya. Interesting. Rome is a good faction under these rules, right? Because unlike Boei and the rest of the barbarian factions, Rome has so many infantry options. They can take 2 Praetorians, 2 veteran legionnaires, and 2 Avocati instead of having to go back down to like units like Axe Warriors, which Boei will assuredly have to do. So that's a bit of an advantage. But Rome has other problems, which is like they don't have cheap slingers, their cav sucks. So you know you're gonna have to ride or die with your infantry, which is normal for Rome. So let's go over Bobi's army here. He's got 2 Equites Extraordinarii. I highly like these guys against barbarian factions. They offer you a cav advantage that you don't have otherwise. Even though they're not very good shot cav, they are shot cav. Only 57 charge, but 100 health, 60 armor, not bad. They're very survivable, and they'll do a lot of damage on the charge, basically. So they're not bad at all. I really like these guys. Against barbarians, not so much normally, but against Arverni and Boya, yeah, take him. He's got also 2 Asaki Equites, no surprise there. Legatus Gen probably, yep. And his main line, of course, is exactly 2 veteran legionnaires, 2 Avocati cohort, and actually only 1 Praetorian and 1 legionnaire. But again, that's the idea with Rome, right? You just get so many different options that you're gonna have good infantry everywhere. His spear line looks like 2 Vigiles here and 3 gladiator units, 1 spear gladiatrices and 2 spear gladiators or gladiator spearmen. These guys are good against cav, which they're useful. They'll do well against spear warriors even, but Rome doesn't have very good spears. Is the problem. Like these guys will eat shit against javelins. Only 10 armor. Even the spear gladiatrices with their 40 armor won't do anything. They have very high stats though, so if they get in against those spear warriors, they'll do well. But only 90 men in the unit. It's a risky choice, but maybe you don't have any better options. He also has Syrian archers up here, so that's nice. We'll give him some counter against the Celtic slingers and the Celtic bowmen. These guys are terrible. The Celtic bowmen really suck. The Celtic slingers are good though, so Syrian's a good counter. Maybe go for Balearics though. I think that'd probably be better. But, this is fine. So, nice army there. Infantry heavy. He's not got a lot of spacing between his infantry either. And Tila is very spread out. He has a massive cavalry advantage. He has a noble horse here with 2 heavy horse on the flanks. Also 2 light horse. I would like to see less light horse. But then again, this is a problem that all the barbarian factions have. You basically have to take cav. Because with the 6 infantry rules and 12 total infantry, that's 12 infantry. Let's say you bring all 12 of your infantry, which you should. 12 infantry. You can only bring 2 Celtic slingers, so you bring those, you're up to 14. Now you have to bring 6 cav, essentially. Or you can bring, like, 2 Celtic bowmen or something, but the Celtic bows are so shit, you'd almost rather have the light horse, which is very sad. And the other thing is you just have money to spare. So, if we look at Tila's army, he's got an Oathsworn and 2 sword followers. Evidently, they are on the flanks. No, they're here. With 2 axe warriors, normal shit there, and 1 Celtic back here. Would like to see 2 Oathsworn though against Rome. I think there's no point not to. Instead he's invested heavily on spears. He's got veteran spears, 2 veteran spears. Oh, well that's the other thing, right? If you want to have 6 spears, that's 12 infantry total, so 6 spears and 6 melee infantry. You're forced to buy 2 veteran spears, 2 spear warriors, and 2 level 3. So he's gone for that, but buying 2 veteran spears means he doesn't get 2 Oathsworn, so it's a bit weird. Not sure I agree with that necessarily. Maybe it's better to go with 5. Celtic bowmen's getting massacred here, not really doing anything. They get 1 kill and then they're gonna rout. They think they shot this gladiator spearman? No. What did they shoot? Maybe a vigilante. Then for the rest of his army, he's got just that cav force. Again, 2 light horse, 2 heavy horse, 1 noble horse, and the slinger force. So Bobi's got a massive infantry edge because those Epicati and veteran legionnaires are gonna do very well against even sword followers. The Oathsworn's a big advantage, and the spears are the biggest advantage for the Boei guys. And the extra cav. They don't have better cav because they only have 3 cav that are good, but the 2 light horse provide an annoying force. Oathsworn getting in here, doing well. Takes 2 casualties already, but it'll kill off these gladiator spears very easily in conjunction with the spear warriors. So these veteran spears are going to be interesting. They're going to be pretty hard to stop. And here he's taking a big cav charge, and that's why those Saki Equites are so good. And they're going to get engaged by a Praetorian guard here, so the Praetorian's going to do really well. Kill off a sword follower for free, practically, because of that Saki Equite Extraordinarii charge. And that means that one of the 2 very, very valuable infantry units, the 2 sword followers, are off the field. Rome has no such problem, because all their infantry is very good, and they don't have only 2 or 3 that are, effective. Those axe warriors not going to be very good. Targeting the light horse here, not really a good target. Like, yeah, they'll die much faster than heavy horse, but heavy horse is way more valuable. And Tila realizes it pulls back, but, you know, taking those losses already is good. And these Syrians proving very effective so far. Here comes the Legionary Cohort here. With a charge from these Noble Horse, the Veteran Spears could do well in that fight. And now the Oathsworn get a charge on the Praetorian, so that's great. You could pull out your Sword Followers, but look at the Sword Followers. Down to 50 men, so you've already lost one of your key melee units. And now the right side, the unshielded side of these Oathsworn are exposed to the archers here. So Tila's got to rush forward here and stop these archers from shooting. It's absolutely crucial. Here, he's going to have a good charge here. He gets a second charge of these light horse, which don't eat the charge of the socket pace, so they'll do well. Levy Free in here, Spirit Gladiator Treacy's in here, so Spirit Gladiator Treacy's will do well in this fight, but so the Levy Free will allow these heavy horse to pull back, which they should do instantly. Finally, the Spears are going to get in here, push back those archers. The Oathsworn are going to do great in this fight. They're killing off the Praetorian Guard. I would pull out these Spear Warriors and recharge the Legionary Cohort here. That Legionary Cohort has to die if you want to have a good fight here. Gets into the General with his Light Horse, this is nice. But he's running out of infantry units. He has Axe Warriors engaged with Evocati. That doesn't sound good. His other Axe Warriors here engaged against the other Evocati. So he has the other Sword Follower and he has the Veteran Spear in reserve. He needs to go in here and tie these units down because remember, Bobi doesn't have that many spear units. Tila definitely has more, so let's go tie down this unit and tie down this Veteran Legionnaire, and then these Levy Free are untouched. They can go in here, kill off a Vigilante, and then you also have this extra units like over here on the flank, the Spear Warriors, this Levy Freeman, those kind of units, and indeed this Celtic Warrior, a melee infantry not engaged here, which can really do a lot of damage. I think this Celtic Warrior should come in here, rear charge these Legionary Cohorts, and kill it off. These Veteran Spears are doing fine in this fight. Again, Bobi is keeping his units much more fresh, just checking on the fatigue here. You know, you can see winded, and Bobi's mostly fresh, so that's really good for him. So, yeah, I think bring this Celtic Warrior in here, engage all of these units. Nice javelin there from the Levy Free. We'll kill off these Socket Cryptes, no problemo. Sword Follower is going to get in here. They're going to do well against Veteran Legionnaires, and they don't even get a Javelin volley on them, so they're going to really fuck up this Veteran Legionnaire, no problem. The Veteran Spear, here's the problem though, right? This Veteran Spear needs to get around the flank and start dealing with these archers. Like, he needs to get all of his infantry engaged. Meanwhile, his Cav Blob is in here, but there's a lot of support here, 2 Vigilies for the Heavy Horse here, and they're going to do well. Spirit Gladiator Treacy is killing off those Levy Free, no problem there either. The Oathsworn Gen, though, doing very nicely. The thing is, though, like, these Spear Warriors are just wasted. They're just dying here. I think Tila really needed to use his spears as, like, a second wave to come around the flank and through gaps. Now 2 Evocati Cohort and the Veteran Legionnaire, 2 infantry, are going to come on top of this Oathsworn. The Oathsworn's down to 60 men, so it's definitely weak. It took a lot of fire from those archers, meaning the HP was a lot lower. The Celtics will come in here, though, and absorb the time, but these cavalry are just getting chased off the field by these superior support. And I think, yeah, Tila just wasted his support, basically, in this game. He didn't use his spears in conjunction with his cav. His spears were like fighting in the mainline fight, and of course he had lesser infantry, but you needed those spears to come around. You had extra units that should be unstopped, like, right? If every unit matches up 1 for 1, you'll have like 2 or 3 spears for Tila that can't be matched by any infantry. So then they can just walk around and just run into the rear and cause absolute chaos, and then let your cav follow up on that. So this is going to be a convincing win for Bobi. I think he's got a shot cav behind, can go recharge these 2 sword followers and veteran spears. And tons of infantry have survived over here as well. These cav are kind of free, but there is a Socket Crypte and the Legatus back here. Yeah, the general doesn't want to fight here, but he's going to eat shit instead, and yeah, it's going to be tough here. He's not going to get a charge. Like, Tila hasn't been getting even, like, charges in a lot of these engagements. I'm not sure what the fuck is going on with that. Veteran Legionnaires, killing off these sword followers. I'm not sure if they took some early damage, because Veteran Legionnaires, I think, lose the sword followers, but it's close. They could just be winning that. The Cav support coming in here, but a little too late, because this blob is just completely over. Tila has 2 free units there. So yeah, I think Tila just didn't play this very well. I think he just got his spears killed off too fast, and then engaged with his Axe Warriors and Celtics. Well, the Celtic not really, but the Axe Warrior against, like, Evocati, so they just died, like, no problem. So yeah, convincing win for the series for Bobi, 4-1. Really well played, and he'll go to the finals of the Russian Championship. I believe Bobi has won the Russian Championship before, so trying to win it again, I guess. I think Oleg is the opposition from the other side of the bracket, so that should be interesting. I mean, yeah, those should be some good fights, especially in these weird rules. You figure Oleg would have something planned, but hopefully we get a good final series. So yeah, really well played for Bobi there. I think he played just really well in all the games. He didn't really make many mistakes. He was solid defensively, and that's how he likes to play. It's just defensively and keeping his shit together. And Tila, I think his problem in this game was he was just like trying too hard to do some things. Like those long flanks where he walks all the way around Bobi's army just didn't really work because the units were too tired by the time they got there and other parts of the battle had already been lost. I think if he was a bit more direct frontal with his engagements, he would be doing a lot better in a lot of these fights. Um, but yeah, in the end, Bobi I think played it well enough to win, and he did win. So congrats to him. He makes it to the finals. Hope you guys enjoyed this series. It was a pretty good one, I think. Like a lot of interesting matchups. Like you don't really see. Like it's very unique, basically, with these rules. I don't really think they're very good rules, but they're definitely unique, and you get a lot of different engagements in matchups. For example, like all these spears for Boyai being like the deciding factor against Rome. You don't really expect that, and like the Pontus, like the factions that remain strong, like Pontus and Parthia and Armenia, are really interesting to see against factions that have to like completely retool their approach because like factions like Arverni lose a lot of their power because they can't bring forward the same unit. So yeah, it was good to watch these games. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in any future battles. Peace out.